When the high-paced thriller Adverse, Lou Diamond Phillips is the character of Reason as Dr. Cruz, who counsels Ethan as he spirals into a world of drugs, violence, and death. Take a look.
And may I also remind you that these evaluations are part of your parole requirements. Now, are you going to answer the questions, or do I have to write down that you were being uncooperative in my report?
Right.
All right, let's get back to your personal life. What's going on there?
Nothing.
And Mia, how's she doing?
She's fine, I guess.
What's she up to?
Just usual stuff, you know?
No, I don't know.
So hello, Lou. Let's talk about this film and let's talk about, give people an idea of what it's about and the dynamic between your character, Dr. Cruz, and Ethan.
It came to me, through Thomas Ian Nichols, who's just a lovely, lovely human being, and he's really kind of breaking out of that sweet, nice boy next door box. He's an ex-con. He's got some issues. His younger sister has some issues. She gets involved with, a drug ring. My character is his conscience. I mean, his forced conscience, I should say. It's basically he has to check in with me for his parole, and I got to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Now, is it true that this movie came to you by chance? You had that run-in with Thomas, who plays Ethan. Is that how it all played out?
100%. And he said, yeah, I'm doing this little independent film, and it's gritty, and it's, fun and different. Brian A. Metcalf, wonderful Asian American director, literally on his way up. And he said, would you take a look at it? It really had that kind of spirit that an independent film, should have. It didn't feel, like your studio kind of project or, one that had been homogenized. It really had a voice. It had edge to it, and I like supporting that. And then all of a sudden they got Penelope and Miller, and then they got Mickey Rourke, and this tiny little film, blossomed and blew up. Even the fact that it got into movie theaters, I think, is a massive achievement for Thomas and for Brian.
Now, let's talk a little Prodigal Son, this hit show that everybody loves. And this season, you're not only starring in front of the camera, but you're also directing. Was that always part of the plan for you to kind of do both?
It wasn't etched in stone. I think when Chris Fedak and Sam Slaver cast me, they were aware of my, directing career as well. Especially recently, I did Fear the Walking Dead. I did an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and also an episode of my own, series Longmire. So it was a great script, but all of a sudden it's going to be the mid-season finale, and I get to introduce Catherine Zeta-Jones and Alan Cumming as a guest star, and I was blown away. I mean, suddenly I was doing, Prodigal Son, the independent film. And,
I wanted to get a little bit more serious with you because you've always been outspoken about social issues. And recently you've been posting about the Stop Asian Hate movement. And in the entertainment industry, how do you see representation and inclusion as part of the work that needs to be done? What do you see behind the scenes? Clearly more needs to be done, but what are your thoughts on what's being done?
I think finally, and it's the fact that we're having the conversation, the fact that there is a hashtag, that there is more awareness. I have to give major props to the African American community in Hollywood, because you guys have waved the flag, you've beaten drum, and you say, look here, look over here. Here are people who are being overlooked. Here are artists. And then you had the Oprahs and the Tyler Perrys and the Shonda Rhimes and the people who went off and said, I'm going to open up my own shop. And they did it in an amazing way. And we are just now starting to see that in other communities.
Well said, Lou Diamond Phillips. As always, such a pleasure to talk to you. I want to let everybody know that you can catch Adverse now on digital demand and DVD. Thank you as always, Lou.